everybody. Shop Talking is back with Gretchen.
I'm Camille.
And we're so happy. We're so happy to be here because you know what? We sit around and think of things that we want to share with you.
Yeah.
Not that we have any wealth of information that you may apply to your life.
I know. I might.
Well, she's a trained professional. I am not. I just say what comes out of my mouth, and that has, over the years, proven to get me in trouble.
I'm entertained, and that is what matters right
now. But you know what? On a serious note, so as we see things in social media, as we see things in the news, I'm always like, I want to talk about that.
Well, yeah.
I want to talk about that cute little boy whose video went viral for being bullied.
Broke my heart.
Gosh, as a mom,
that was powerful.
You know what? And the mom, and here's what I loved about him, in case you haven't seen it. It's a precious little boy who's sitting in his mom's car, and she's asking him questions, and he is saying, it's not right. Mm-hmm. It's not right what they do. They make fun of my nose. They make fun of me. It's not right. Yeah. I can't help it. Other people can't help it. They make fun of other people. Yeah. You know what I want to talk about, Camille, is we teach our children that's not right. And children misbehave, and they do mean, cruel things. Yep. But I have found in this adult world, there are more bullies that are adults than children. And you just go on social media and you can read up what people write about each other that they don't even know. Yeah.
I've never seen this before this year. I think, I'm not saying it didn't exist, but it is so prevalent. I mean, and I look at the news every day and I'm just kind of like, I'm getting burned out on the constant, bashing of, politicians and the Congress and the tweeting and I just feel like we're on diversion mode. Like we're always looking over here and what's really happening, Yeah. This isn't real news to me. Okay, to me it's all fake news. But I agree, there is, I want to digress on that, but there is like an abuse of power happening. And I do think it starts when we're young. I do. But here's what when I watch this video of this little guy, he just wants to be loved for who he is. Why does it matter what he looks like? Okay, and this is a similar topic with objectifying women. Okay, that's happening. That boy is seen as an object. Nobody's getting into his experience and his feelings and his little thoughts and mind. He matters.
And if there's a movie out now called Wonder.
Yes.
It's called Wonder with Julia Roberts. And it's along the same lines of her little boy has a DNA genetic disorder. Yes. He goes to public school for the first time after he's been homeschooled. He's in 5th grade. And it's his journey of that. I think, excuse me, I think that little button called send gives people a power and a permission to act ways that they wouldn't if we were face to face.
Well, it's anonymous in a way. I mean, they may have an emoji or a picture of themselves, but we have a lot of courage behind that gadget.
I think they're cowards. I mean, really, I think it's super simple to hate on somebody. You never see my face. You don't know who I am. Push send, and I said it. Woo!
Yeah. Well, and it's the same thing when you look at hitting on women or hitting on men. Or sending pictures. I mean, we don't know who's behind, really, that social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not real. This is, what's real is where the compassion is. And people don't heal. I think that we are in a world of needing to be healed. Okay? We are all in some sort of pain. And all of us are going through some sort of abuse of power and fighting for some sort of freedom of speech, freedom to look how you want to look, act how you want to act. There's got to be a new way. I'm looking at this going, what's the answer? I look up, what's the answer? Mm-hmm. To me,
Did Jesus tell you? Well, you just looked up.
I'm looking up. Look at the cameras. Look at the lights.
Jesus is not in the camera, Camille. He's in your heart. Didn't you learn that when you were 2?
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, but I think the solution to some of this problem is we are missing, this compassionate chip. People aren't relating to people as people anymore. And I've read studies about how, cameras or gadgets are affecting, or, our screens are affecting children's minds. We're dealing in a whole new world of emotional and health disorders, most mental, okay, with some of our younger children. So I'm thinking, what are we doing? We're getting less and less related to each other, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I work with somebody, I need them in the office or on the phone at least, but I want eye contact. There is a confront. There is, when you are sitting in front of somebody and you're directly related to their energy and there is something that bonds you, when they share their pain or they're sharing their story and another person listens and hears them. they're connected. That's what connects people. Now we can share stories online, and we all do. But I do think as a society we are getting less and less one-on-one related, and I can't see that really being healthy for the emotional psyche.
Well,
Or for
no.
relationships, right?
No, well,
Yeah.
and it's proven, and it's been proven that, especially with the generation of kids nowadays, they don't know how to communicate.
No.
They don't know how to date because everything is so much,
Gadgets.
through their phones or something like that.
Well, it's through some sort of medium other than themselves.
Do you know, there actually was a study done. It was actually done, I think, last year, and it was from retail companies that were saying people are spending more time in the dressing room than normal. Men more than women, and here's the reason why.
Are they selfie-in?
They are selfieing and they're taking pictures and sending them out there saying, should I buy this? So basically,
Are you kidding?
they're waiting for approval
Feedback.
from X amount of people that
many
you
likes?
may not know that says you are now acceptable and we will buy that or don't.
Hottie
These
or
are
naughty?
adults,
That's insane.
right? So where along the, I mean, you think about reality shows, you think about all of those housewives of whatever.
Wow.
Why do people watch that crap? Because of the drama.
Oh, no, it's true.
Why are we drawn to drama?
Well, I do think people are really drawn to stories. Okay, so the history of how we all learned, there wasn't a lot of nomenclature before books. There wasn't a lot of videos, etc. We learned in the history of our evolution through stories. The scribing on the cave. So the pictures. That's how people actually got wisdom, was through stories. So I think we all have a story.
Wait, are we supposed to get wisdom from the Orange County Housewives?
Well, no, we have gone to a level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also think survival's handled. When survival gets handled for people, they get a little bored. And we get a little stupid when we get bored. Just saying. So sounds terrible, but
Yeah, but you know what?
time on our hands. Yeah.
Everything seems to be sensationalized. And if you
That's true.
think about, remember Maury Povich, for
Yes.
crying out loud, long time ago when,
He's
his
still
show,
around.
I know, but when his show came out, you had a whole handful of crazies
Oh,
on there all the time. And people watched it because of the cat fights and,
Or Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still on.
Yeah.
But these were unbelievable.
Right. Well, now
Now
they've
it's-
taken that concept and then they've made reality shows where we sit back. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette when they first started.
Yeah.
It was normal people trying to find a date.
Yeah.
Now it's like you got some psycho chick in a shark outfit trying to get the attention of some guy that she thinks she's good wife material.
Well,
Hello?
I think they're looking for ratings, so it gets a little bit
Of
more
course.
and more,
Yeah. Yeah.
gaslighting and all this histrionic and stuff. And so there's people that are getting more and more dramatic just to get the attention.
We've got Todd. He's our everything man. He's our sound camera. Mike, from your point of view of a guy, how much drama is too much when say you're on social media or you're on a dating site? What's too much? What's your red flag?
Well, for me, selfies are a red flag. I think if you're trying to convince me of how great you are by all the things you take pictures with,
Right.
If it's all her and not some scenes or family or events.
yeah, if it's just here's another shot of me, and we see this on Instagram, and
Yeah,
if
Instagram.
you have to
is-
tell me how great your life is or how big of a deal you are you that big of a deal?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Overselling.
Yeah, it's this hyper competitive world we live in where we don't know how to interact with anybody.
Yeah.
You go to McDonald's now, you don't talk to anybody. You go to the airport, you don't talk to anybody. Everything's a machine.
Oh my gosh! Or you even try to place a call, or you're right, you don't have a
robo.
human. How many times have y'all tried to make a phone call, whether you're trying to return something or get some sort of service, and you get a recording? How frustrating is that?
Well, I mean, you're yelling and pissed off at whatever, getting mad at it.
Yeah, because you can't have a freaking human.
No,
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about how the world's headed. I'm nervous about teenagers and younger and what they're experiencing in life and what they think is, quote, normal.
Well, I think they're losing the ability to
Relate.
They're learning how basic communication,
Yeah.
living with other people, how to just be.
Well, it's all distraction.
Yeah.
We live in a distracted world. I mean, I've seen these I've seen on TV where kids are on their gadget, or even adults. They fall, they get in accidents. That is on the rise. I mean, it's like those kind of injuries are on the rise because your head's in your gadget. It blows my mind.
I even remember a chiropractor on
Driving,
ABC
yeah.
talking about text neck.
Text
There's a
back.
syndrome that you have muscle spasms
wow.
and stuff because of the position that you're in when you're always on your phone or
I
your
can see
phone,
that. I can totally see that.
right?
Posturing, absolutely.
From your thumbs. You could always just kind of do it like my mom.
Well, I'm not. I do that. I will tap like this because I've never been this. I'm not that. I'm not ambidextrous with my phone. I don't do it enough to do that, right? I will talk and text, so you might get some really wackadoodle messages from me.
You know what? That's a phenomenon because that's Camille's word that I haven't figured out how to do. So I can't actually have a conversation out of my mouth and in my head text something else. I'm not good at that.
Oh.
So if I reread,
You're old-fashioned.
No, I'm just old. So if you get right down to it and you read what I text, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
because I'm half. I think that skill left me when I had my third kid. You know, when you've just
the
got
depletion of the vitamins, the minerals.
I give up. I can't. I don't care.
Well, when you had 5, you're pretty sane for 5. I think.
Got a twitch.
You look damn good. You look damn good for having 5 kids, girl.
But you know what? Back to that cute little boy. I mean, that has been something with my children that I will not tolerate. I will not tolerate any form.
Yeah.
You know, and the word doesn't have to be bullying. To me, it's just not being nice.
Yeah, it's unkind.
Don't you dare
make fun of somebody.
Kids, don't make fun of them.
Yeah.
Do not.
Names.
Do not do that. You know, and somewhere along the line, we're teaching our children not to do that, but then we think it's okay as adults to do that.
Right.
You know, and the thing that Camille and I have always wanted to share, especially with your women, is, man, we're not hating on you. We never will. Mm-hmm. We may make fun of your nipples because we have bad nipples too. We might do things that are including us in the whole women general thing, but we're not making fun of you.
No. We're just as goofball as you are. I want to brag a little bit, one second.
Yeah.
I have a son. He went to Juan Diego High School here in Utah, and I'll tell you what, he got an award for breaking up fights. Now, my son is about 6 foot 6,
he's
6'7".
ginormous.
He's gentle giant, I call him. But he is very intelligent. And Nathan, there were two of his friends. They were both fighting over something. And they were being, these kids were saying racial things, and my son, tears, streaming down his face.
Right.
He literally grabbed one kid and put him over here and the other kid over here, and he's in the middle of these two, and he's holding them apart, and he's emotional. He loves them both. He loves these, football players both. But he was honored for breaking up fights. That's my boy.
Yeah,
he also quit the team.
Moment.
He quit football because he couldn't hit guys for no reason anymore.
Wow.
And I thought, this was before, Concussion came out, the movie, and, and he went through a lot of hazing and some BS because he was true to himself. Mm-hmm. But he saw the writing on the wall. He could have gone anywhere in scholarship. But he said, Mom, I don't want to do that if I got to hurt somebody. For no reason. Football was not a reason for him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you could have did it. And then I realized, to thine own self be true. And who the heck am I? Right. He taught me something right there.
Right.
Yeah, it ain't worth it.
I encourage y'all to go see that movie while it's out, Wonder, because there's so many components throughout this movie that is life lessons.
I love it.
Life lessons for all ages. We went on a Tuesday night because it's movie night. It's $5,
right.
And couldn't sit with my 2 kids. So here we are. I'm like, you're not supposed to talk during movies anyway, so it shouldn't matter. So I'm sitting next to these. There was like this plethora. I'm gonna throw that big word out again.
Plethora.
There's this group of women.
Means many.
They are, they're like senior citizens, and they were so cute, Camille. Every time like something good would happen, they'd be like, "Oh, thank you, Jesus." And then when something bad would happen, they'd be like, "No, no, no, no." They're talking out loud.
I like that. I love people who interact with movies.
They were so into it. The movie was over, and they said, "Is this where we stand up and clap?" I mean, it's one of those. One of the cute ladies said to me, every school.
Maybe it should be.
And I said, amen to that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it should
amen
be.
to that.
So. How'd your kids respond to that movie? Because there's just some intense emotional things there.
Yeah. Well,
there's a great dad there. I mean, there's family support. But how did they respond?
We talked on the way home. We talked on the way home. It's one of those movies that makes you stop in your life and go, I'm super grateful for this, and I want to be better at this.
Yeah.
It's one of those. They talked about kids that they go to school with that don't have friends.
Yeah.
They talked about, my 14-year-old son was talking about a kid in gym class that's not athletic,
Yep.
And there's always someone like that kids tend to be.
They shame, they fat shame, they insult.
Whatever it is, and I just kind of let them do the talking. I wanted to kind of see, what are you processing from this? And Carver said, I'll continue to be the one to sign up to be his partner because nobody else will. you know, that kind of a
I
stuff.
love him.
My daughter, Adeline, she's just the type that she's everybody's friend.
Yeah.
She has no label on anybody. She's everybody's friend.
Yeah.
So, for all those reasons, even if you have things that are going great in your life, it's just a really good reminder, especially this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, you know what? Take your kids. Take
Yeah.
your kids. It's such a good movie. I would see it. I would see it again. And Julia Roberts does such a good job. Owen Wilson's in it. And
Love him.
it's just such a good movie. So
Funny.
anyway, we just wanted to share that with you guys. Go over to our YouTube page. We have all of our other videos. We have lots and lots of really good life lessons.
And funny crap we're talking about.
And some things you could just throw out the window and be like, I don't know what the hell y'all talking
Let me say
about.
one thing before we wrap. Like, this is the only time I really get to just be me. You know, I mean, I work with a lot of clients and stuff, and this is kind of fun for me. So hopefully you're enjoying I'm enjoying it. At least it's fun for me. So, but I do want to say one thing about being bullied or going through something. What I believe is, and I wrote a book called Reframing Your Life, A Guide to Becoming Invincible. When you look back on your past, and your story is that you're a victim of something, and we all were, okay? We all are. If you live like you're the victim of something and that bullying moment stops you, that's where you've got something to learn, and that's your education. So, you know, this kid that has this experience with people, like, his misery is going to be his ministry in the future. And we have these moments in life where they're training us for something we're going to encounter in the future. And I believe that. I firmly believe that. And I tell my kids that it's like, you know, you got something hard going on. Obviously, you need to learn this now, because when you're older, you may encounter the same thing. So
Right.
let's grow through it. There are no accidents. It's happened for a reason. If it's meant to be, then how are you going to handle it? We don't have a choice of what life gives us, but we have a choice in how we choose to handle it.
Yeah. Do you stay a victim, or do you?
That's exactly it. Do you stay a victim? Are you going to let yourself be owned by something? And I'm not saying things don't take time to get over, because they do. And even physical wounds, they have time to get over. But if you look at this, and I'd love to have some sort of education in schools of how to get over an upset, how to handle being upset. You know, we see all these violent acts with people, and, you know, they go, quote, postal, that's the term. But there's this buildup of uncleared anger or frustration or some sort of PTSD that they have never been able to clear. And it's like this time bomb. People turn into time bombs because they don't really have any cognitive therapy or someone to talk to.
Right.
So, or there's a mental disorder.
Well, and
they
you
haven't been tested.
My gosh, you see that everywhere. You see
Yes.
that as adults. You see
Yes.
that the Vegas shootings. You see that in the
Yes.
school shooting. You see people that are frustrated,
Yep.
that feel like they don't have a voice, that nobody cares, nobody
And
listens.
they were bullied.
So,
Like, that to me is a form of bullying. Like, they
Yeah.
were suppressed or held down, or they were, something unfair happened. But instead of taking it like, okay, this is going on, I got to learn how to, you know, handle this now because I'm going to encounter this in the future. Nobody helped them see it like that. So they became hostage to it, and now they're acting out
right.
whatever happens.
Right.
So, you know, I do want to talk at some point about the mental health of this country and what I think my recipes are that could help people.
Right.
So we'll get into, I'm doing a series of just how I help people out of their pain. So that's kind of, I think, my mission in life is just help.
Why don't we do that next time?
Sounds good. I'd like to. Yeah.
Y'all come back and join us when Camille will help us have a great guide on, like, you know, we can't change the world, but we can change our families, we can change ourselves, we can help our families is what I should say.
You can heal. Yeah, you can heal.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching us. Shock Talking with Gretchen and Camille. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and subscribe, like, and share, and we'll see you next time.